What's up, y'all? I'm doing a book review of the Alex Rider book series. So, a little bit about how I discovered this book. As you can tell, well, I started reading it when I was in seventh grade, when I was about 12 years old. 12 years old. And you can see the shininess on the book cover that caught my eye. So, that just has to do with marketing to children. Also, this version I bought doesn't I think I remember the one that I read back in seventh grade had more of a holographic blue, so it was even more shiny. I actually just picked up this copy off the internet for $6 just so I could have something to review. I'm doing the whole Alex Rider series in this review entirely, not just Stormbreaker, which is the first book of the series. So I wanted to talk about why I'm recommending to read books from your childhood. So I don't think I had the worst childhood, but there were some really good parts of my childhood that I am fond of. And so I wanted to embrace that part of me now that I'm in my 30s. And so I actually started rereading some books even before I turned 30. And I just reread them. So I remember when I was in seventh grade, maybe going into eighth grade, I read all the Alex Rider books 1 through 6. So Stormbreaker, Point Blank, Skeleton Key, Eagle Strike, Scorpia, and then Archangel. I read those 6. And then the seventh book, I believe, let me see, Snakehead. Yep. When Snakehead came out, I actually only read a couple chapters into it. I might have just lost interest. And so I remember that just several years down the road that I never finished that book. And so I decided to get a copy from my local library. And I decided to reread the entire series, starting with Stormbreaker again. And then I finished Snakehead. Must have been over 15 years later. And then I actually just finished all the other books, all the way up to Nightshade Revenge. I found that whenever I would read these before bed, I think it actually kept me up because they're action thrillers, so I learned that about myself. So they're definitely good to read in the morning, which is actually when I would read them in seventh grade. We'd have homeroom and we'd have to basically read books and take tests on the books called AR reading. And this was in AR, and that's why I read them to get points. So, but like I said before, I just started rereading them to embrace my inner childhood for creative purposes too, as an artist. Just to revisit things that I used to enjoy, and I completed the entire series. I believe all 15 books, even Secret Weapon, which is a pretty okay read. I think from rereading them though, out of all like the Alex Rider books that there were, I don't know. I think Scorpia is like one of my favorites. I really like the first 6 books. Point Blank is good. Skeleton Key, they're all good. I can't really say which ones are my favorite, but my favorite book of the series that actually wasn't really Alex Rider, but it was the Russian Roulette book. That was my favorite one. It was about the assassin that killed Alex Rider's uncle, Yasin Grigorovich, who Alex. I don't want to give too much spoilers, so, but you can find that in this book. But the Russian Roulette book, that was one of my favorite books, not just in the Alex Rider series, but of all times. I really recommend that book in particular, the Russian Roulette book. But overall, I would just encourage anyone to check out this series and also to revisit some books that they used to read when they were growing up. I think it's a good way to get to know yourself. Just overall, really good book series. I recommend revisiting any books that you used to read growing up to fulfill that nostalgic itch if you're older like me. So, yeah, Alex Rider series, 10 out of 10.